Hello everyone, welcome to the rework of the Boomeranger. So before I start off, I want to apologize because I am sick right now. My nose is stuffy and I think I have a respiratory infection, so it's making me sound really weird. Also, sorry if you constantly hear me breathing. I feel like I have to take way more breaths and I'm kind of close to the mic, so that doesn't really help. So there is a patch notes on this, of course, as you would expect. I'm not really going to go over it because I think there are a bit of things and I don't really want this video to be super long, but I will have a link in the description if you are curious to do that. So I just logged in and this is my first time experiencing the rework, and apparently people are saying it's not the best. So let's just go ahead and look at the abilities, which actually do change depending on whether or not you have a bow or a sword. So we'll get to that in a bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and look at the abilities. So we have the Final Fairy. Boomeranger can equip either a bow or a sword. Basic attacks and abilities change based on what weapon the boomer has equipped. With the bow equipped, the basic attacks will shoot fire arrows, ice arrows, and bomb arrows in that order. Fire arrows will deal damage over time. Ice arrows will slow enemies, and bomb arrows deal damage in an area. With the sword equipped, every third attack summons a cyclone at your location, dealing damage over time for a short time. Additionally, a fairy companion will heal the Boomeranger at low health, which of course is a Zelda reference if you didn't get it. So some of my stuff isn't ideal. As you can see, this is a Shadow Hunter ring, and I have a C4 face, a bow, and a hat. I only have a C3 sword, so this is probably going to be like the most powerful version for me. And this is all my stats. If you want to pause, you can. These are all of my gems. I'll just quickly go over these. Boomerangs. Throw 3 boomerangs that return after hitting an enemy or wall. Every third basic attack recharges its ability. If caught, the player will gain an increased attack speed and damage for a short time. Boomerangs have a chance to stun. This ability has a stock of 4. So that's cool. So the boomerang seems cool, and it gets recharged by your basic attack. I would test exclusively on these dummies, but I think they're not exactly the most accurate. And it seems like they kind of linger, which is nice. So as you can see, the basic attack is recharging them, it seems like. So no longer do you actually catch to recharge. But it says you get a, what was it, a damage boost? Let's see. You will gain increased attack speed and damage for a short time. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So if you don't have the buffs, this is how quickly you attack, which I believe is noticeably slower unless I still have the buff active, because I actually have attack speed on everything, as you can see. And this is how quickly I attack, which does seem a bit slower. So let's see, this is what this is like now. Let me just wait for this to run out. Okay, this is without the attack speed, and then this is with it. So as you can see, we are actually attacking quicker. And let's see, so we have the big Bach Bomb, which is basically the same thing as you're used to, which just throws down 3 chickens. And they do a bit of damage, but the thing is, if you want to exclusively go for a boss and there's a bunch of minions, there's a good chance that these allies will just go for the minions, and you don't want that. So anyway, let's go over to a sword and see what we have. I don't think this would change, so let's see. Boomerang of the Wind. Throws a large boomerang that deals damage to enemies it passes through. If caught, the player will gain increased attack speed and damage for a short time. The boomerang has a chance to stun. And then we have the tiny Bach Bomb, which is throw out small timed bombs that explode, dealing damage to targets. These spawn chickens that attack enemies for a brief duration, and the ability has a stock of 5. So it's basically the Bach Bomb, except it's 1 at a time. And I don't know if this gets reset. Let's see. I don't think it does. But as you can see, there is a little cyclone, which does last for a bit. It seems like it hits about maybe 4 times, maybe 3. It's either 2 or 3 or 4. I can't really tell. But anyway, so as you can see, just keep on throwing these down. And it does seem to have a pretty long cooldown. I think you can only have 4 at a time. Because, oh no, you can have 5. The other one's just there. But, yeah, do we get the cooldown or like refilled if we catch? Does not seem like we do. So, it does have a pretty long cooldown. It's 20 seconds per bomb, which actually seems outrageous. But yeah, as you can see, this guy does attack pretty quick as a sword. I don't know which one is better, but let's go ahead and go into U11. My stats aren't the best, like I said, so I'm not going to be like, you know, the best boomer you've ever seen. That sounds hilarious. But anyway, let's go ahead and use bow first. I don't know why I keep on going into that menu. But let's see how much damage I do just for a hit. So 6 mil, it looks like. Man, I'm used to the Shadow Hunter where I'm able to shoot through walls. You can't do that, obviously, with the Boomeranger. But I don't know if the tri-shot is actually hitting. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's lag. Well, that was just bad aim. Okay, there it hit. Okay, it is working. It's just I'm not doing the most damage. And let's see. So I want to go to a boss if I can actually find one. And I'll just say hi because I'm a nice guy. So let's see. I want to go to an actual boss, but this will actually be good because we can see how this goes. Sorry, I'm really out of practice when it comes with the Boomeranger. I have not used him in a very long time, so I don't know how he has to, like, how he plays. And with the rework, it's definitely different. So let's go to this 5-star and see how it works out. So if we go over here, I don't know why the game, like the FPS is actually dipping. I don't know why, but you guys don't care about that. So, let's see. This is another one of these. I'm used to being able to, whoa, that is a huge hat. Don't know where that came from. But yeah, the Boomeranger is not exactly the fastest, speediest character, but I mean, if you have fun with him, then, you know, go for it. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. I think normally I would be using Arcane, or not Arcane, Martial. I think knockback is still an issue, at least it seems like it is. But let's see. I think after this dungeon, yeah, after this dungeon, I'll swap to the sword style. Man, I'm too used to the Shadow Hunter. I'm trying to like get my speed boost from rolling and all that. Not working, obviously, because that's not how that works. But okay, we did that. And let me go ahead and I don't know why I have this. Oh, well, this actually reduces this stuff. So let me just go ahead and put this on just to see. And now we will go to sword. And we will just do dungeon to dungeon. It's not as good of a test because I don't have a 5-star. But let's see. So this guy, I think, just does more damage with the sword. Yeah, like the sword does pretty good damage. I think the Cyclone is actually pretty good. Like that's without Martial, which is nice. That was a Cursed Skull though, so they are noticeably weaker. So if I do this, use my hats, Bach Bomb. Bach Bomb, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna use it because if I do use if I use Martial, I think I'll just like wipe the floor with them. And let's see. So if I, you know, just go ahead and just use Martial right here, well, it's not really going to do anything because now there's these cursed, these enemies that don't really, they have too low of health is what I'm trying to say. So here is actually a good dungeon that I can see. Bomb our way into this. Activate that. And I want to go to a non-cursed skull, but I will use Marshall here, just so you can see that it's doing decent damage. I don't think I actually had Marshall on there, so let's see. And there's a bit of lag here, so it is what it is. You might not want to run Marshall, you might want to run, like, you know, Chronomancer or whatever, the cooldown reduction one. But, yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know if this is good or not. Like, it seems like it's good as long as it's able to, like, you know, quickly kill stuff. I don't really care if it's not good for, like, delves, you know. I kind of just want a class that can actually go through enemies really quick. So how much does a Boomerang do with Marshall? Okay, it doesn't exactly do a lot. I don't think I actually caught that. But it does seem to do a bit. So I want to go ahead and go to a... I want to go to a non-cursed skull and see. I guess we can go on this boss. So this is without using Marshall. If I just hold left click, right? This is how quickly I kill. And this is U11, by the way, as you know, probably already knew that. So I am still killing decently quick. But I might actually take off Marshall just because I might want to have the cooldown reduction. But I don't actually know. Because if I just do that, throw down like Bach Bombs, I mean, it won't really help here. Like, again, it's like I killed the things too quickly. I don't think the Bach Bombs are really gonna help for, you know, stuff like dungeons. So I actually want to see how much damage the Bach Bombs do on their own. Like, if I just throw this at them, right? Eventually, they'll go for the boss, and I want to see how much they do. Okay, they're doing like 12 mil. I don't think I had Marshall on for that, but they did seem to be doing quite a bit. The thing is, if we go over to this guy, I'm just going to use Marshall quick. And the spin actually does quite a bit of damage. I don't know if it always did that much. But yeah, so that was this video. Sorry if it's like all over the place. Again, I'm like sick and whatnot, so this just feels awkward for me. But yeah, sword definitely feels the way to go. I just prefer the like AoE and stuff that this has. I don't really like a range boomer. But if you did like this video, like would be appreciated. Also, consider subscribing because that helps the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video.